It's Nolan. Now, before we get started, make sure y'all hitting that like button. Make sure y'all sharing it on your respective platforms. Let somebody know what we're doing today. Now, let's get into the show.
Got my legal hustle, welcome to the trap. I could blow a stack, bet I make it back. You can hit my line if you need a track, but we can't even talk if it ain't about the bag. Got my legal hustle, welcome to the trap. I could blow a stack, bet I make it back. You can hit my line if you need a track, but we can't even talk if it ain't about the bag. My studio sessions turn into fireworks. These reptiles on me like a Lacoste shirt. Plain Jane make your eyes hurt. Fuck a sponsor. My mission to give it your price, but without the concert. Pandemic showed me I could get it off the muscle. I be grinding year round. Y'all be waiting for the summer. I just fill the gaps. Don't need a light for the tunnel. Y'all looking highly disgruntled. I use the mic for my hustle. Dog, I came up. Triple beam changed up. Built the team, serving up the fiends through the screen. Living out the dream. Still independent. Don't need the red tape. Game green. Cut the dead weight, that's my headspace. Yeah, I've been a boss, I just now embraced it. Feeling in W9s like an application. Strong mind, advantageous, planning vacations. I put my dogs in the business like I'm Baron Davis.
What's going on, beautiful people? It's the kid J Nolan here. Welcome back to another episode of Inside the Industry, and I'm always source for music, entertainment, commentary, and breakdowns. Hope everybody's doing well out there. Now, in this show, we're going to be getting back into Drake and Jagmeet Singh, okay? Now, if y'all can remember, we just recently spoke about how Drake jumped in his DMs after he was seen at the Grand National Tour supporting Kendrick Lamar and SZA. He jumped in his DMs and called him a goof. He was very angry about that. He also reposted some They Lied thing on social media. I didn't get a chance to talk about that, so I'm going to talk about that in this video as well, because there's some theories that are circulating around Drake's support of that organization. We're going to get into Jagmeet Singh actually reaching out and sending a public apology to Drake for attending the concert and claiming he only went to support SZA. So this man spent about 3-4 hours of his night to go support the Grand National Tour, enjoyed the show, and now because Drake's feelings got hurt, he is now cowering down and coddling this near 40-year-old man to make him feel better. You can't make this shit up, man. I swear, this is like Degrassi, I need to get out the wheelchair all over again. So here we have NFR Podcast covering this. They say Jagmeet Singh apologizes to Drake after he called him a goof for seeing Kendrick Lamar. All right, we're not even going to get into the quote. We're going to get into the actual statement. He says, I went for SZA, not Kendrick. I was born in this city. I love this city. But real talk, I get it. I shouldn't have gone at all. He don't even look like the type that we talking about some real talk. He says, OVO and Drake have lifted up this city and Canada. For me, it'll always be Drake over Kendrick. Oh, man. And this is exactly what I was saying before with Flop 5 and the DJ That Don't Spin was commiserating on stream, and they was having their crocodile tears, and oh my God, that was so heartbreaking when the crowd said again, and they were screaming out OVO. Oh my goodness. Now we got this motherfucker over here talking about something. I went for SZA, not Kendrick. Okay. You know, you don't get one without the other. So what was you just straight up like mean mugging every time Kendrick got on the mic? Come on, man. You know you was playing that motherfucking Not Like Us. You know you was playing that motherfucking Squabbler. You know you been screaming mustard out that bitch. Come on, man. But another one bites the dust, man. We have Opinionated here. And she says, since everyone is distracted because Drake posted a politician because he attended Kendrick's concert in Canada, I always stick to what is overlooked. Drake posted They Lied CA license plate. They Lied CA allegedly is a MAGA supporter and supports their ideologies, etc. You can go to their website and X account to get a background on the grassroots domain and what they believe in. Hopefully y'all understand why Drake was liking MAGA posts earlier, playing their version of Not Like Us. It wasn't just because of the song or being petty. I always knew he wasn't for the culture, but y'all let money, popularity, and fame equate to a person is good or based off how y'all accept people. I'm quite sure after everything that's been in y'all face since 2008 and currently with him to where y'all think it was just a silly rap beef diss, when it's deeper and the message Kendrick gave was deeper and why he got called a colonizer. You'll overlook it and still support his music because y'all morals standards are diluted, and some will use the excuse that you can separate people music from the acts that they do as an excuse for yourself, people, bad acts or doings. I mean, some of y'all will still support a blank or blink advocate and say, well, I can separate their title they have because they are good at what they do to make yourselves feel better. Very strange activity there for those of y'all that do those things. All right. So Drake posted this in his story, daylight.ca. And I think this was also posted in response to Jagmeet going to the concert. So I guess he wanted to get in on the political sphere, and apparently he's going right wing, which we've already established he was going to be doing. All of his moves have signified that. His alliance with Aiden Ross signifies that, you know, the same guy who sat down with Trump. So no surprise there. The fact that he sued his label at a time where you would think he probably needs them the most. He needs their money. He needs their resources and relationships. He sued them, right? Put out bullshit music. But if you watch his motions close enough, you'll see he's going to be the hip hop Andrew Tate pretty soon. You know, if you listen to his lyrics, one would assume he already kind of is. And this is daylight.ca. They're also supporting Elon Musk in his foolishness, okay? Reposting him. So that's the ecosystem in which Drake is residing at this point. Now let's get into this fan who attended a Drake show a couple years ago. And, you know, we've talked about Drake fans showing up in the crowd, having no signs and asking for different things, begging. And Drake makes these promises to those fans to give them $10,000 here, $50,000 here. I'm going to pay for your rent for a year. I'm going to do all of these different things. Nobody ever really finds out what happens after he makes those promises on stage, whether it's just all for show or if he actually makes good on those things. But we've got this lady here, Stephanie Walker, who is alleging that Drake made a promise to her to help her with her recent diagnosis of multiple sclerosis, right? Which I believe is the same thing that 40 dealt with and has been dealing with his whole life, right? So let's go ahead and pull this up.
First of all, maybe y'all can have a conversation. And second of all, I'm gonna do whatever it takes to get you the best help in the world. I want you. You got my word.
All right, so that's how it started versus where we are today. All right. So here,
to start,
here she goes into her story about how Drake made that promise on stage. They reached out to her, tried to figure out how they could get her some proper health care for what she was enduring, and how things ended up not being very helpful in the end.
to start, I was filming this video of me speaking, and my eyes just aren't cooperating with me today, so I thought it would be better to just get it out there this way. My name is Stephanie, If you're here, you are probably here because of the video I previously posted. My memory sucks, so bear with me. I'll try to keep the story as in line as possible. To start, October 2023, I went to a concert. My sign said, "I just found out I have MS. Will you help make my night?" The man literally could have thrown me a t-shirt, like his sweat thing. Like, he could have thrown me anything and I would have cried. Talked about it for my whole life. Would have been ecstatic. But instead, he made me some promises. And one of them you've seen in the video. He made a couple, and I'm not going to lie, he did keep up with a few of them. I did get connected with 40. He's a great man. He's also Drake's best friend. So I've tried to reach out to him about this. I've vented to him about this. And all he's really, like, he can be there for me, but he is Drake's best friend. So he can only do so much that way. I did get to go to the concert the next night. He did keep his word on that one.
So rather than help her actually achieve better health for the, duration of her life, he gave her 40's number and gave her tickets to the following show. Just giving y'all an update on how things progressed here. She's doing a lot of talking. I can paraphrase a little bit.
But when it comes to getting me help, it has been nothing but heartbreak. It started with him, like, just asking for information. I spent the first 6 months updating him on me getting diagnosed, and he then reached out to me about treatments and stuff like that, and we talked. I told him what I was trying to do, what I was trying to get covered. He let me know, because I didn't have any other option. There was no other help available, so I was just kind of going with the Ontario flow. At one point in time, he did tell me, because I told him my medication isn't covered, but I'm working on getting it covered. I had no other option. He let me know, if it doesn't get covered, we'll pay it for 20 years. I was so grateful for that. I worked so hard to get it covered. So
another promise here, 20 years of covering her medicine, allegedly.
Keeping him in the loop. I updated him, was sending him medical documents. He had let me know at one point, we have the best doctors in the world for 40. The medication you're trying to get covered might not even be the medication you end up taking. We're going to take your medical documents and send them to 40's doctors. And they could have a whole different, better, crazier treatment plan for you, right? I couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe it. It was just so... and good thing I didn't take anybody's word on covering things, because I did end up blocked. So he could have, paid for it once, and then in the government's eyes, I'm expected to keep paying for this. When I went to reach out a few months later, he pretty much was like, "What are you talking about?" And I was like, I explained everything that he had previously promised, and he was like, his response to that was, "I'm sorry, Stephanie, I've had a lot of deaths in my family. I've been going through a lot." Just kind of, dodging everything. And I'm not saying that he wasn't going through things or didn't have his own stuff going on, but at the same time, this is your job, and I'm heartbroken. I kept him up.
Now, when she says it's your job, she's talking about, she's not saying it explicitly here, but this is Drake's assistant that's being the liaison between herself and Drake. It's not Drake's job. It's the assistant's job, because that's who was linked with her to do these things. And he's making the promises via Drake, right? After Drake did it on stage, they sent his people to get her information, blah, blah, blah. So she's in communication with the assistant and 40. And they're giving her all of these different hopes, dreams, aspirations of changing her life, and, basically keeping her, because because, 40 got his hair back. I don't know if that's Bosley or if it was like real or what. But 40's been living a pretty good life in recent years. You know what I'm saying? Ever since the story of Adidon, you know what I mean? All, that narrative has pretty much been diminished. We don't hear about that no more. So they're like, yo, he's got the best doctors in the world. We've helped him recover. He's strong. He's good. He's healthy. We can do the same thing for you. And she's like, okay, well, if y'all are gonna do it, I'm gonna hold you to that, right? Y'all went this far, and now she's detailing how troublesome it's been to hold them to their word.
Dated telling him, this is making me sad. This is already a tough time for me to go through this. That's when he texted me and said, I'm sorry that you haven't been looked after. We're going to get you some better help. We're going to have a meeting about this tomorrow. And I texted back, just thank you. Waited a few weeks, texted something else, and then ended up being blocked. So, and how I know I was blocked, I just took another iPhone, and sent a quick little hey, and went through no problem.
So instead of saying, I'm sorry we misled you. We thought we were going to be able to help you. We thought we were going to be able to, make this a rather quick process to link you with the doctors, put the money up for the medicine, and, help you on your road to sustaining your life. But, we've hit a hitch. We're very busy. Can't really keep up with this. We'll try to direct you in the best direction that we can. They just stopped communicating and blocked her.
Delivered. So that was a tough day for me. Finding out it was over. Sorry, my memory, it slips. But at one point he did, it pretty much admitted to me, I don't even know, for the last 6 months you've been updating me, I don't even know who, what, where, when, how. I had to send him the video for him to review it again so he could see why my hopes were high and my hopes were up. And not because...
So they went through months of these communications, promises, reaching out to doctors, trying to figure out the medications that she was going to need, blocked her, and then tried to act like they didn't even know who she was. Who? What? Can you resend us the video so we can understand who you are, who you even are? What? At bare minimum, I think I would remember somebody who I've tried to go out my way to help find doctors for MS. Like, I'm quite sure you're not doing this for fans every day.
Because I felt entitled or like I deserved it, but because I really didn't feel like my idol of almost 15 years would look in my eyes and lie to me. If you've listened to all of this, thank you so much. Thank you so much.
All right. And this is a text thread with, I believe, the assistant. It says, I will follow up with our team tomorrow to see how we can get you better health care. I'm sorry that you haven't been looked after. She said, the last message he sent before I was blocked. She said, I appreciate it. Thank you. She then follows up. I hope my duplicity when it comes to this means something to somebody. Everywhere I go in my small town, I need to be prepared to be asked about this. Like, I really have stayed solid and kept faith, even though I haven't been shown any reason to. I feel like Drake has no idea. I've sat around heartbroken for more than a year about this. Maybe you can pass that message along for me. Okay, so by the time everything became clear that she was never going to receive any help, it had already been a year. Okay. And she says, in the town that I live, I can't even go outside anymore because people are recognizing me and asking me, yo, whatever happened with that Drake thing? Didn't he promise he was going to get you the best help available in the world? And she just gotta go, yeah, working on it. Like that motherfucking J Dilla said, working on it. It's fucked up, man. Now, to be clear, do I think that Miss Stephanie's health is supposed to be number one priority for anybody on Drake's team? No. I don't believe that to be so, okay? People are sick. People are going through, terminal illnesses. People are going through a lot of different things in this world, right? World hunger is still a problem, right? Genocide, war. It's a lot of things that are going on that Drake himself and his team cannot fix and cannot do for everyone, right? This is from a human perspective. The problem is when you make people promises, right? And it's one thing if you promise that person on stage and then you make no connection. It's like, all right, well, that was entertainment. That was cool. You go about your life. But then when you actually feign interest in helping somebody and then you string them along for the duration of a year and you promise them, we're going to get you with these doctors. We're going to send your information. And she said that they were requesting her medical records. So they're actually requesting very intimate details about this woman's health that they actually had no real interest in. Right? Like, that is the problem. It's not about him saving her life or trying to or being responsible for that, because he's not. But when you take that on as a responsibility and you promise somebody something and you actually go through a year of stringing that person along, asking for intimate details about their bill of health, yeah, that's pretty strange when you make no progress. So a year of me sending all of this stuff, sending you whatever it is that you're requesting, all for me to feel like after a year, does Drake even know that this is happening? Does he even give a fuck? And again, it would be way more respectable if the nigga just said, I'm sorry, this is more than we signed up for. It's very busy. You know what I'm saying? It's just too many instances of this weird shit. Like the streamer guy that allegedly sent him what was it, close to $1 million or some shit, didn't get his money back for stake because Drake wanted money to gamble with and said he was gonna flip it for him. So it's kind of hard to give you benefit of the doubt when it's becoming harder to doubt. You know what I'm saying? It's like, yo, ain't no more doubt. It's like you really out here swindling and scamming and misleading your fans, the people that spend their hard-earned money to come fuck with you. You could have easily just not said anything at all. You could have just saw her sign and said, man, I appreciate you for coming to this show. I'm praying for you. All you had to do is, I'm praying for you. I hope you get better. She would have went and still felt amazing, despite the fact that you weren't going to help, right? Sometimes that's all it takes is for somebody to just share a kind gesture. And it's like, yo, I'll always remember you in that light, rather than stringing me along, giving me false expectations. And now I'm no longer a fan because I feel like you fucked me over. You got me personally invested into something that I thought you were personally invested into just to show me you really aren't. Now she was at the motherfucking Kendrick concert in Toronto getting her motherfucking life screaming they not like us, and she was singing that shit about your motherfucking ass. I don't think we get an apology from her like you got from motherfucking Jagmeet Singh. All right? Jagmeet out here singing a whole nother different tune. Fuck out of here. Oh boy. Let me know what y'all think of all this down below in the comments. Be sure to like and share this video. If this is your first time seeing me on YouTube, go ahead and subscribe to the channel, become an insider. I'm gonna catch y'all on the next one, man. These niggas are crazy.
Yeah. King of my city and cul-de-sac. Coming out swinging like soldier rag. Leading my people like quarterback. Boy, I study this shit, I'm an almanac. Had to get up and grind. Knowledge is booming, I'm here to apply. Came with the chip and the dip, it just single the mind. We finna do more than survive. I need my check. Spinning the block for the Gouda, we hitting the jeweler to flood out the net. We don't do beef on computers, I'm straight out the sewer, we come when you rest. Niggas be looking perplexed, so keeping my foot on their neck. No map, I trust my gut for the quest. With drama, I'm fully abreast. I was ready for years and they doubted me. All of a sudden they tell me they proud of me. I been dropping these haters like calories. Cross them out, I came back with some batteries. Stand for my honor, but too raw, no corner. Packing the stick with a drummer. Wanna catch my bad, won't fumble. I done came too far to be humble.